Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fives, and this one is a continuation of the last one, which was a little while ago. That one was 5 things that nobody tells you about trucking, or 5 things that I don't like about trucking, whatever, same difference pretty much. And this one is 5 things that I love about trucking. Number 1 is that you get to see so much of the country. This is a job that entitles us to basically get to do what the vast majority of people will never get to do in their whole lives. Before I got into trucking, I had basically been to maybe 10 states my whole life. And then now after trucking, I have been to every single of the contiguous states except one, and that is Maine. Maine is the only contiguous state that I have not been to. So that brings the count up to 47 states, which is awesome. Probably will never get to see Alaska or Hawaii during trucking, but regardless, the amount that we've seen is just amazing, and the people and places that you go and that you get to experience is just something that most people will never ever see in their whole lives. And I feel like all of these different places that we've been in, different experiences that we've seen, have really helped to shape our worldview a little bit better. So that is something that is irreplaceable. Number 2 is all of the friends that you will make in this industry. And because of the nature of the industry, constantly going places that you are far away from home and stuff, you will encounter people from all over. So we have friends from all over the country, and because of that, we have the ability to basically vacation anywhere that we want to and have somebody close by that is a local that can show us around, that can let us stay with them, that can tell us all of the places that the locals go and not just the touristy places. Another amazing thing is the food. I would really be remiss if I did not bring up the food because, growing up in a small town, we really did not have a variety of food choices to choose from. And then moving to Chicago, sure, there's a lot of different varieties of food, but there's not really those local and regional types of foods from other, cities and states and parts of the country in Chicago. So it really took traveling everywhere to be able to try all of those different things. And I feel like maybe we should do a best thing I ever ate trucking version video, because there are so many good food places. To this day, we ate at this place, I think twice, up in Auburn, Washington. There is a place, a Salvadoran place, that has pupusas that are so good. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. And then, in, New Mexico, we have a place we love to go. In Miami, there's a place we love to go. In Boston, there's a really good place. There's just so many good places, and it's things that you really only get whenever you're in those places. So it's just amazing. And, my husband is so much better at remembering each location of these things. Oh, there's a barbecue place in Tennessee that is really good. Next up, and probably my second favorite on the list, is the wildlife. It's just kind of crazy to me. You see all these things on TV and in magazines and stuff, but you don't realize that this stuff is actually out there. We've came across huge mountain lions. We've came across elk and moose. I think it was a moose. It was something huge. And in California, they have these signs that has a mama bear and a baby bear, kind of caution, they're going to be on the road. And for years, I was like, oh my God, it's false advertising. I keep seeing that there's going to be a bear, but there's no bear. And then we saw a bear, and it was just insane, and prairie dogs in Denver, of all places. I would not have thought that Denver would have prairie dogs, but Denver has a very big population of prairie dogs, and they are so stinking cute. And foxes, and oh my gosh. We saw a roadrunner one time. Well, I saw it whenever I was driving on the road, and it was literally running along the road, and I almost peed my pants because I was laughing so hard because I was like, this is insane. There's like actually a roadrunner, and it's also a lot tinier than I thought that it would be. It looks nothing like the cartoon. But I just love seeing that. Like, I love all the little furry creatures and the little winged creatures. And in Wyoming, at mile marker 188, if you stop at the parking area there is always crows, and they will just swarm the truck and just sit on the truck and watch you. Like, hey, do you got any food in there? And so if I do, I always like, throw them stuff. So I just love seeing all that stuff. It's just magical, and I feel like it's stuff that you don't really get to see if you stay in one area all the time, which, a lot of us do have the opportunity to travel, but if you don't actually travel like on the ground, out on the road, and you're just flying places, you really don't see all this stuff. And then, of course, number 5, the biggest thing that I love about trucking, I had to throw it in here because it is pretty much the number one reason why you would get into trucking if you were going to, and it is the money. It is a freaking amazing money. Now, granted, you do sacrifice pretty much every semblance of a normal life to do this job. For us, we're only home like 2 days a week, sometimes less. We used to be out for a month at a time and not home, and that whole month, and then come home and be home for only a week. And there are definitely times where it is frustrating and you wonder why you got into it, and you wish that you could just have like a normal job. But let me tell you, like, I have a 4-year degree that I have never used. So if I'd had it to do over again, I probably would have just went to community college to get like a certification, or I would have went for a nursing degree. I would not have gotten a degree in any sort of a business administration or anything like that, because it's really useless. And the real life experience that you get, time management and client relations and all that in this job, prepares you for anything else that you might do. So to put it into perspective, the job that I had right out of college that I worked at for 3 years, I got a 60% increase in pay from starting to the time that I quit that job over the course of that 3 years. And even my ending salary at that job is less than a third of what I'm making now. And it is insane that I spent so much time worrying and working and putting in overtime and the office politics and stuff that I dealt with in that job versus this job. Granted, it is not always easy. It is not always fun. You don't always get good news. You don't always get home whenever you would like to get home. But the money, for me, makes it 100% worth it, because it has afforded us the ability to do so many things that we would never have been able to do if we had kept our previous jobs prior to trucking. And I know that, money isn't everything to some people, but in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve and to have an easier life, you need money. And so this job definitely affords us the ability to do that. And because of that, every single time that I get frustrated or, angry about a situation, in the back of my mind, it's like, but you're making that money. You're making that money, and it's all going to work out in the end. So that is my last thing that I love about trucking, and I feel like the most important thing. Because if you are thinking about getting into trucking, you have to take the good with the bad. I've told you some of the bad things before. I've told you some of the great things right now. But to me, cash is king above all of those things. So whenever you are financially stable in your job, you have that ability to not let things get to you as much. So that's my 2 cents on that. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys got a little bit more insight into what I do for a living, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.